Yrtm is what the fuck is this?
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. Hope everybody's doing well, swell this AM. But I just wanted to go live today with some information. You know, I've shared my story before. Y'all already know. But yeah. Hold on, guys. You know how it is. It's the early morning ride. So whatever happening. We do this real time. Way, you know. Just flow with the flow. Go with the flow. So yeah, Daniel. Yeah, I got it. I just didn't respond yet because I saved it. So I got you. I've just been a little busy, but I got you. I got the email. So yeah, just want to wait a little bit longer. It's gonna be a important video for those that want to take it, understand it, and some people have, and like I said, there's been so much things going on in this so-called truth community and all this awakening. And, when we should have been focused on truly awakening, this is one of the things that I did is when I realized how much we were lied to, cheated on a daily basis, I wanted to come out them chains. Those are the first things of waking up. And at some point, they knew we would wake up, so they needed to create communities, different things like they did in the 60s and 70s. And through sorcery, magic, mind control, manipulation, people that have awakened to be able to create a change here got caught into, you know, different pockets of false light, false beliefs, false information, and things of that nature, which lets the people that rule over us remain in control, further their agendas, further their plans, further their goals and missions. While we up there tiddly winking and playing around and talking about shit we can't never prove and stuff like that, they've been able to move forward. But if we woke up to knowledge of what is truly happening, that we can prove, that we can show, that we can usurp, right? You know, that we can get redress, right? Instead, people that woke up simply fell into other cracks and crevices of being asleep. You know, imagine if, like I said the other day, 100 million people understood how the system works. They can't run the system anymore. They can't play the game. You know, you think if we knew how Vegas worked, anybody would be going inside Vegas? If they showed you how Vegas actually worked, if people figured it out, nobody would go there. It'd be out of business. They'd have to close. Same thing with this government. You know, if we found some things and figured it out, how to free ourselves collectively as a masses, this place wouldn't look like this. They wouldn't be so far ahead in their agendas. They wouldn't be able to, they would not be able to come on in 2020 and run a mind control, death, whatever you want to call it, that they've done on us. And then in 2024, come out and say, oh, we'll just treat it like the flu. You gotta be kidding me. They would never have been able to do that. Never. And like I told y'all, in Rochester, New York, I got things removed, rescinded. They don't want no parts of me at all. Zero. Right when it came to 2020 to 2023, they started letting up. Personally, me getting things removed when they still trying to push shit, right? Because just simply understanding the contract that they put out there. That's it. Understanding the contract that they put out there, showing you live in action, right? Wu Wei, right? Just flowing, you know, going into a building, going into the Monroe County building and being rejected because I don't got a fucking mask on my face. What? And they following protocols that ain't even there. What? And then showing y'all, making a video showing you how they did it. Exactly to the T. And even contacted those two attorneys. I never got a response back, but the response was rapid, and I got an email from them before they even put the memo out up in their buildings to let me know it was done. Because they don't want people to know that. I remember literally stumbled upon a quarantine center that no one knew about in an old hotel building and showed y'all exactly what they were doing in there, only because somebody told me. What's good, Oil V? And years ago, you know, when I was dealing with my other kid's mom that we're now good friends with, right? When I was going there, one day they have a sign up on every door in that area about the Indian Child Welfare Act. And it's just me, one person, one human being, one little measly human being in their eyes. But this will show you how powerful we truly are. We are powerful. Now imagine 100 million people understanding what's happening. You know, just imagine that, knowing what time it is, understanding certain things. I don't understand nothing, truthfully, but I understand many things. But in the world that they've created, you know, I don't. I got a lot. I got a lot of learnings every day. But we'd rather be entertained, truthing about shit that doesn't even really have anything to do with our life. Meanwhile, they just pushing forward, steamrolling forward. You know, and when we all have pieces of the puzzle, we can't come together. We can't figure it out. Why? Because again, we are on pixelated social media engineering, right? Some of us, you know, we could flow through it, right? Just like the Wu Wei, right? We could flow through the internet. We could flow. We won't get, we could maneuver through. Sometimes we get trapped up and caught up a little bit. Our leg might get caught in some seaweed or some kelp while swimming, but we know how to cut it off. You know, we know how to, yeah, cut that off. It's dangerous out here on and I told you, social media. Social media is more dangerous than a television, unless you know how to use it for the benefit. And that's what we failed to do. As a majority, we failed to do that. We want to hate on each other. We want to say my truth is better than your truth. When you understand there's components to truth. There is no truth. I keep telling you guys, you got a lot of you guys understand this. Eastern philosophy, Eastern understanding does not understand Western ideology on truth. We were taught truth. Just tell the truth. I'm the truth. I'm telling the truth. When there's elements in truth, there's certain what do they call it? Certain layers of truth. There's certain attributes of truth. There's certain things that you embody for the truth. Also, the truth is not amongst one. It's a collective truth, right? It's understanding that, you know, a tree is a tree. That's the truth. But the actual fact of that is that tree is not a tree. Somebody, some people agreed to call a tree a tree. A tree is just what it is. And these are the concepts and understandings that we lack. And this is why we do what we do. And our way of thinking is wrong, man. It really is wrong, man. What's good, J True? It truly is wrong, you know? And to continue operating the way we do, we are only helping, right? We are, you look at it's just, you could clearly see we're perpetuating communist, Marxist ideologies, right? But we don't want to change within ourselves, right? And I told you, Federalist. This is this is the most. I don't give a damn who said it. James Madison, whatever, Hamilton. It don't matter who they were, what they were. What they said was the absolute truth. And why I say, because they came to the conclusion with understanding many aspects of psychology, human nature, universal law. These are things that they understood that we lack. Some of us lack. These are things we lack. And this is why I respect the law. I mean, the law is. I'm not talking about code statutes and all the other bullshit. The law, the true meanings and essence of what law is supposed to be, right? Yeah, they twisted it. They. I've read to you the Russian Constitution, the Chinese Constitution, republics they are. But you look at their society, that's where we're headed. In their own constitution, they even say man and citizen in Russian. Ain't that crazy? They say man and citizen. That's some wild shit in their constitution. And they come before the government. Same thing in China. But we were told China were communist, a communist government. Yeah, so is America. They don't want people to wake up to say, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, what's going on here? I mean, there's no, or the mind, oh, it ain't no, we don't even need to go no further. Whoa, hold on. You know? And I'm going to do a whole video on the Constitution of Mexico, Russia, China, because those days told, oh, that's all you hear in the news, communist Russia, communist China. Them the ones I'm going to do. Let me know if we're still there because, I'm on StreamYard. It says zero watching. Just give me a thumbs up, somebody. You know, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know if I'm still alive. Okay. you know, so this is one thing. What this whole video is about is all this bullshit. Shout out and shout out to my brother that hit me to the word gabbledygook. All this gabbledygooking and shit on the internet. With all this dumb shit. We should have been focused on the mission. How everybody's complaining about what all the left and right, all this shit is doing, but they used contracts. All of our, you know, we know the police are fucked up or whatever. But like I said, if we're not upright enough to govern ourselves, like I said, crime is out of control. Innocent people are getting killed, raped, murdered, all kinds of shit. Right? Drugs are crazy. Because why? We not upright. We haven't said, we haven't gone into ourselves and say, you know what? All this shit is wrong. No, 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 no. How are we going to continue our trajectory in society? Want to be happy, want to live, want to buy this, want to buy a house, want to have a family, want to raise kids, want to do all the shit that we were taught to do in a place where we could see it deteriorate. What the fuck? There's no balance there. Where's the yin and yang, right? Where's the balance? Where's the perpetual balance in that shit? Ain't none. And everybody's just walking around here aimlessly blind to the shit. Blind to all the stuff, thinking it ain't gonna affect them. It's all in your face showing you it's gonna affect you at some point in time. It will affect you. Whatever these people in power want to do, it's gonna affect you at some point. Refresh. They shut your life down. Not mine. They shut your life down in 2020. Truthers was like they're locked in. I'm like, I'm traveling the fuck. I'm free as a fucking bird. That's the most freest I ever been. But y'all was locked down. I ain't never been so free in my life until then. I'm like, these people really believe they're locked down. Where does it say, all? And they was careful to not even say those words. They was walking on a thin line of the law. Everything they did, all the orders that they issued, all the emergency orders they did, they knew what they was walking on. They knew people out there understood. And they ain't bothered smart people. I don't even want to use that word. We know smart means, you know, intelligent people, right? Enlightened people, whatever you want to call it. And that's mostly all I ran into on that whole hiatus for, 2 years. Enlightened people. I could see people that know something and they ain't gotta, They ain't got a diaper on their face. Okay. We have already a common understanding, and you could start strike conversations. And by me not having doing none of that shit, yeah, all the conversation I got into was unbelievable. Because remember, I don't believe being in square feet, locked in all the time. That's where they want you. Now I want to be out, resonate my frequency all over. You never know who you'll meet, who you'll run into, what kind of interactions you'll have. All of this is to teach you, our everyday life, teaching you. When we could have simply studied for 10 years or however long, I've been on this motherfucker for a long time. I've been doing it in my life, but I could have been doing it more, you know, trying to wake people up to what's really happening, and then going in through the trials and tribulations myself, you know, and again, learning to be upright. And people ask me, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you maneuver through life? Listen, man, all my intentions are always good. Even when I've told y'all, even when things go bad in your life, if your intention was good, if your intentions were good at doing it, then can't nothing bad come from it. It may feel bad to you, like, damn, man, I put my heart into this shit and it didn't work out. Well, that's because it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to make you stronger. It was supposed to build your heart up even more. As long as you didn't go with ill will, ill intentions, you know, to hurt any other beings and do it for selfish reasons, you know, it's gonna be all right, you know. And that's another thing that goes with what I put on the screen, Wu Wei, right? The art of no action, non-action, right? To embrace flow instead of effort. To which, sorry, I was reading a text message. Instead of effort to achieve a result. We put there's a difference between when you put intentions and effort, right? There's a big difference when you put those things together, right? And this video, is more about my situation, right? That you guys know about. Hold on one second. Okay. Now, effort. You know how they tell you to put in effort. They teach us wrong with these words. Guys, words enslave you. Look around at what you're in. You're enslaved by language. Okay. Lan gauge, LAN dash gauge. There is a energy, there is a element, there is a formula that they have formulated to control you. All right. And I already told you, we done went down this road before. The way we speak to each other isn't even the right ways. And you wonder why we are the way we are. And I learned that by, being with somebody from a totally different culture. And when you translate it to English, and when you say something in their language, it's like it was kind of offensive. And we talk to each other like this every day. So how could that transmute to being offensive in a couple languages? Not only in that language, in another language. Because I'm around a lot of Spanish people, so I use a Spanish translator, I use a Chinese translator. Why do both of them come back with an English derogatory? It's kind of like not. It's we think it's some sincere shit. And it's not in those both of those languages. That right there is interesting to me. And then understanding we're controlled with legalese, language of the law, right? Language of the law, you know. And it's so funny, Wu Wei, right? The art of non-action, to embrace flow instead of effort to achieve a result. Action in law is a lawsuit. Ain't that crazy? It's a lawsuit. And actually, if you look up the etymology of the word, right, action, it's this is the etymology of the word action: cause or grounds for a lawsuit. That's the definition. I mean, Nothing else. That's the definition. Point blank period. The first definition that comes up in a noun. Action, lawsuit, case, right? Putting in motion, a performing, a doing, public acts, official conduct, lawsuit, legal action, right? That's the word. That's the definition. We use this word, every day. Action, right? And in other words, I mean, action is putting something into motion, right? We know that. But this is the etymology of the word. Cause for grounds for a lawsuit. Think about that, all right? And then, right? Hold on. Where was I at? Back to effort, right? Effort is a laborious attempt, strenuous exertion, right? Force out, exert oneself. That's effort. That's what the word effort means. They say, oh, put effort into it. You know, that means they want you strain yourself, you know, strain yourself. Think about that. Fourth, strength, power. So crazy. So, these are things that, again, I'm beat it like a dead horse. I know this is where I lose a lot of people when I start talking, about stuff like this, but it's because of infancy, infants. These are shit that we should have been understanding, and I've been studying for years and still don't know barely anything, you know, because you got to go through to get the understandings, to get the uh experience, right? You got to get the experience, you know, and what experience is observant, observation, you know, of knowledge, you know, that's what it is, what experience is. Let's look up the etymology. Etymology of experience. Observation as the source of knowledge. Actual observation, an event which has affected one. Experiment, proof, experience, right? A trial, proof, experiment, knowledge gained by repeated trials. That's experience. And you got people on the internet, truthers and all these other people who talk about all this different shit and talk about they got so much knowledge and truth, right? But if you ain't got no experience, how the fuck you got any motherfuckers be on the internet all day talking about truth, knowledge? You ain't got no experience in your truth and knowledge. You got to have experience in your truth and knowledge. That's why most of the shit I talk about is because I've been through, I've done it, and I observed it to give you guys the knowledge on what the fuck's going on. You know how many people hit me up like, damn, man, I remember you said this years ago. Now look, this is happening. Dang, this just happened in my school. This just happened in my area. This is happening on the news. This is happening in this country. I remember you saying that. What's good? Yeah. Yeah, is magnified. Anybody look that want to get some, crossing over into where I'm headed with this live. This brother right here, yo, go to his channel, subscribe, and when I tell you, you know, the real deal, I'm gonna get to that, man. And I've learned a lot from this brother over the years too. I've been following him for years, you know, following him for years, and I'm gonna get into that. And I've learned so much, and this is where we should be. This is how you change the system. This is how you change. While the system's still here, this is why they want to destroy it, guys. Once this U.S. splits, because they're going for a split. The Constitution is void, man. Then we go into state control, and you don't want no state control, man. They're the biggest tyrants, the state. We're going into a split of the United States of America, guys. They're telling us real ID, real ID Act. I mean, if that don't tell you where we headed, I don't know what else to tell y'all. There's no reason for the Real ID Act, guys. It's telling you they're splitting up, you know? There's no reason for the Real ID Act except for federal purpose, federal lands, federal territory, federal borders. Each state is going to have a federal line to go into the other state, man. It's going to be under federal control. They control land, sea, air. This is why you're going to need the Real ID to fly to damn New York, Rochester, New York, to New York City. You need a Real ID or a passport because that's federal territory, right? That's what they claiming. So when you want to go to another state, it's another state. There's going to be boundaries, federal purposes, you know? This is what they're doing, man. And what we should have been doing is keeping whatever we know all this, we done heard all the stories of what this is. But protections come from these documents. It is what it is. Right? They are pirates. You know, this is where they come. It's a protection. You know, they used it. I mean, there's a reason why they got, you know, rights. You know, and I made videos about this years ago, guys, about how us black folks should be raving angry that the rainbow community got more rights than the black community. What? Why? Because they came together. Yeah, it was some people way up top, but they put pressure and on paper. They didn't go out there with signs. They did. They showed y'all, oh, because that's what they want y'all to do. Go out there with a sign. They want you to go out there and protest, right? They want you to go protest. They don't want you to really protest, right? They don't really want you to go protest. They really don't want you to redress your grievance. You know, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do none of that. They tell you to go out with a sign, yell at it, scream at the top of your lungs like a idiot. You get pepper sprayed or beat the fuck down and arrested or whatever. Meanwhile, they roll along with their agenda. Why? Nobody put any paperwork on their ass. When they did all this rainbow shit, you know they had paperwork. I forgot what it's called. I made videos about what they used to do it. It's an organization, man. And they went and they just simply said, yo, this ain't right. And they redressed their grievance. We're affected by this, right? We're affected by this, meaning we're being damaged by this, meaning we're about to sue your ass. They gotta go look, they gotta go understand, they gotta come to the table and be like, yep, you know, they're right, they have rights. You got rights. Motherfuckers got rights. You gotta push them through. Then they come when they're waking people waking up. Oh, they come with BLM. You know, look what they did. They didn't tell y'all. You know, they didn't tell y'all. This is all a Marxist communist agenda. You ain't get nothing. We ain't get a goddamn. They ain't nobody get nothing. What they did is they got agendas for it. Oh yeah, they defunded the police, all right. Oh, we need to hold them accountable. Oh goddamn, they did. Now look at the streets. They wanted to do that. They used them to push paperwork they wanted to push through to get things removed so they could destabilize the entire nation. So later they can come back with more tyranny, more police, and they could tell you to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out the way. Look at how USSR fell and other nations fell. These are exact things that they used, right? They used the people talking about liberation and revolution and all this other shit. And then they come around and boom, when they come back, it's a bigger iron fist. It ain't no more protesting. crack your head, and then they eliminate a lot of them motherfuckers and throw them in prison. This is what they do, man. You know, it sounds scary, but this is what it is. Imagine if people woke up, came together, like, nah, you know what? Nah, we got to write. Look at the go gun thing. Like, I don't, I hate when people talk about they're not taking our guns. Motherfucker, they are taking your guns. They've been. They slowly chipping away because you ain't saying no. Nobody's challenging them. Just like all these board meetings, people go to and all this other stuff, and these things that they go into city council, all this stuff. Motherfucker, there are affidavits in there. Nobody's challenging them. You come, they give you 2 to 3 minutes to talk, and then they still do whatever the fuck they want to do because nobody's there challenging them. All the people did not come with affidavits themselves to challenge. Now we got to go in front of the law and say, is this policy that you trying to push forward right and just? We don't agree with it. We don't fuck with it. We need to, no, we're not. We need to sit down under the law and see if this is right. And guess what, guys? That shit ain't gonna fly because you got people behind something that ain't right and they're not in agreement. Acquiescence is key for them. You don't say shit, they do shit. Point blank, period. That's how this game works. They roll right over you. Think about, all the people who got eliminated off the internet. They cannot come on YouTube. They cannot come on platforms, Facebook, none of that. They get wiped. The lawyers that was battling all this, 2020 virus shit. They was getting stuff. These people were out there. They was like, nah, we're not having that. you know, doctors lost their licenses. We already know that. Came up missing. We already know that. Before, Aaron Health Nut News, all them holistic doctors who were murked, right? You know, the one guy, what's his name? I forgot. Created the test, the I don't want to say it because you know what they do to me, but that one test that they was running around testing everybody with, Terry Mullis, right? Kerry Mullis, murked him before the whole thing. You know, these lawyers, the constitutional lawyers, they can't get on anything, you know, because they exposing the shit for what it is. They've been sanctioned. When they go when they go into a lawsuit, you paying them minimum $20,000 when they go to these people because they're gonna get sanctioned. Because the first duty of a lawyer is to the court, the client second. So they got to take it when they go at it. They got to take these losses. It's gonna cost a lot of money. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you all the forms that they got to fill out and submit before they even get your ass in front of them. They don't show you all those. I got an entire booklet. Thank God to the bookstores, you can get this shit for like 25 cents. You know, every few months I go into the bookstore, use books. Man, I got a whole library. I got forms. These things teach me now. I'm like, damn, this is stuff we don't see. Makes us all the way down into to a fucking store. You know, this is stuff they don't want you to see. These are forms. I don't know. No, these are forms from a lawyer to the courts. We never see these forms. You know, this lets me know, like, okay, they're doing backroom type deals and all kinds of stuff. I mean, these are stuff for them to submit to the courts for, all you don't even know about this stuff, man. Stuff you never see. Imagine if we learn this stuff, man. Imagine if we learned how the Amish live, you know? Think about that. How they set up lands, Indian reservations. Yeah, a lot of us know, we learn shit. Allodial titles, land patents. The only form of true land ownership is land patents. Nobody owning the house. I mean, when I first woke up, that's all I could think about, man. I'm like, wait a minute, man, my birth certificate. Wait, my kids, when I took my kids' birth certificate, two of them, one came back in Chinese, the other one came back in Russian. I'm like, what? Why? Because they being traded, man. Property, stocks and bonds, man. So sorry to go off on left field like that, but yeah, man. These are stuff. These are things that we were supposed to do. You know, not gabbledygooking. You know, all this other stupid shit that we're doing on here. You know, the truth community. You know, the love and lights community. You know, they needed you to get involved with something because if you realize, like a lot of people did realize what the fuck was going on, you want to start to create a change. So they had to, at the same time, create a change alongside your ass. And that's what they've done. You know, they created the rainbow. You know, they created, oh, women's rights. Oh, black people, right. Black power. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're fighting. Meanwhile, look around you, man. Look at this cesspool, man. And this is all from acquiescence. Nobody's challenged anything. And shout out to the people that do. They go fight, you know, to get things removed. And yeah, that shit starts getting removed because listen, you got a right in this country. You got a right to religion, set, all that stuff. All the Rainbow Club, they got a right to do that. That's why I don't care about it. It's the states, schools. I don't give a fuck what y'all doing there. My kids ain't in there. Well, you know, two of them are. I mean, that's out of my control as of now. You know, that's out of my control. You know, and we're gonna get into that. But that's their shit. You don't want them in there. Don't yell and complain. Understand the situation. You got them because you can't take care of them. You can't educate them. You don't have the abilities, right? It just is what it is. This is how they look at it. This is not me talking. Remember, guys, don't get offended anything I say. You know, look at the context that I'm saying in. Sometimes I got to reiterate the context because some people don't understand it. But that's how they thinking. Like, y'all coming to our school. They're gonna tell you, they're like, y'all motherfuckers come to our schools. I mean, well, it is what it is. You know, they got a right to do that under the laws of the states. So, boom, that's what you got in the schools, right? Until somebody comes forward and say, you know what, this ain't right. And shout out to all the people that did that, and they did it through lawsuits. And you know what? They had to remove it. But they had to come up with alternatives. And this is what I said. Listen, man, do all the rainbow shit y'all want. I don't care. Imagine if imagine if there was at least 10,000 people in each city that understood what these motherfuckers do. So when they go have a board meeting, a school board meeting, ones that understand, like, no, 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 you know what? We're good, you know, whatever. We believe, hey, look, you know, upright individuals who believe that, listen, I believe people who could like and do whatever the fuck they want as long as they don't hurt nobody or infringe on nobody or fuck with nobody. I don't give a fuck. That's my stance. I don't care, you know? So if people want to be all that rainbow shit, look, you got to come to the table, right? You want to protest and redress your grievance? Okay, do what the lawful way of protesting um and protesting um is supposed to be done. And what is protest? A formal declaration made by a person interested or concerned in some act about to be done or already performed in relation thereinto, whereby he expresses his dissent or disapproval or affirms the act to be done against his will or convictions. The object being generally to save some right which would be lost to him if his implied assent couldn't be made, right? I mean, sorry, consent could be made out or exonerate himself from some responsibility which would attach him unless he expressly negated his assent to or voluntary participation in the act. And then, the other one is a notarial act being a formal statement in writing made by a notary under his seal of office at title request of the holder of bill or bill or note. All right. But that's a protest, right? One person, you got 10,000 people now protesting it with a paper, not your mouth, because they don't. You gotta understand this. Is what other people don't understand. These people don't. You're dead in there, and when you go into the law, you're dead. You're dead to them. You know. That's why they don't hear people. They don't hear y'all. They don't hear nobody when you come to their venues. They don't listening to you, motherfucker. This is why they can come on a whole presidential campaign and all that other shit and lie to you because they can. Motherfuckers, they don't. You don't. You're not speaking to them. Think about that, man. You're not speaking to them. They don't speak your language. You're dead. You're dead to them. So you got to go with paper. Point blank. Period. You want to protest? You go with the piece of paper. Boom. Now, listen, man, we listen, but you can't just sit up there. This is another thing. This is why, like you remember when I be out there with the nurses and all that stuff, documenting the shit, that was going on with that shit, right? And I told them, like, yo, listen, why the fuck, how y'all gonna go protest? How y'all gonna say y'all got a right to choose in my body, my choice? But then y'all go and y'all get mad when they come protest over here. Some understood what I said, and a lot of them that they didn't like what I said. You know why? Because it makes too much sense because they were programmed this way. But I told them, like, how y'all gonna say my body, my choice, and y'all upset that this hospital fired y'all because y'all didn't do what they wanted you to do by taking that, what they were offering. But y'all gonna go over and protest against them at the fucking abortion clinic. Like, that's what are y'all doing? That is so out of balance, it's not even funny. That don't work. I was like, you can't talk about your body, your choice, and then go tell them they can't go do that. Hey, look, they have whatever karmatic energy that goes into that. All right, they got that. It's not your choice. Just like it ain't right for them to come tell you you got to do this. You can't be one way and the other way. And this is the problem in society. This is what's wrong. Motherfuckers want shit their way and ain't got no fucking compromise. It don't work like that. Give a little, take a little. What? It don't work like that. It's got to be equal. Motherfucker, it's a balance. There's a reason why in the law they got the motherfucking balance, the judicial balancing act. They understand checks and balances. And that's why the most important, uh, the most powerful shit that I've ever heard coming out of these fucking people's mouth was justice is the end of government. It is the end of civil society. It has ever been and ever will be pursued and until it be obtained or until liberty be lost in the pursuit. That shit right there to me is the most powerful statement ever. Understanding what justice means, understanding what civil society means, understanding what liberty means. That shit is the most powerful statement ever. And y'all know I beat the shit out of that statement, right? And that's the balance. That's the perpetual balance. That's the yin and yang, whatever you want to call that. That is universal balance, right? That is understanding, you know? Justice is the end of government because if a person is in justice with themselves, right? If he is in justice, and we're going to go straight to it. Etymology of the word justice, right? The exercise of authority and vindication of right by by assigning reward or punishment. This is what they do to us. That's why this is the justice system, because they got to do it. Why? Because moving on in the same etymology definition, also quality of being fair and just, semicolon, moral soundness and conformity to truth, justice. Then it goes into legal rights, jurisdiction, righteousness, equity, from istas, upright and just, right? If you are upright individual, right? If you're an upright individual, you are in justice, right? You are in justice. Upright, right? As an adjective, erect, face upward, meaning you're standing up, you're facing upward. And this goes into, understanding the universe being connected, right? Understanding knowledge, insight, many different things, right? Um, Figurative sense of good, honest, adhering to rectitude, right? That's upright. Just being, upright, and that is in the definition of justice, right? If you're upright and just, You don't need no man to tell you what the fuck to do because you already know what you're supposed to be doing because you're upright and you're already in justice, right? This is why they got to administer reward or punishment. And when you are upright, guess what? You're rewarded. You're rewarded when you're upright, when you're in justice, right? They see you're an honor, right? You're an honorable person, right? They can see that under the law. They can see that. And that's what I'm about to get into. I ain't even get into it. Well, how does it go? Ralph Smart, the old Ralph Smart days, and we ain't even had breakfast yet, you know? So justice, righteousness, equity, upright trust, conformity to truth. Remember, conformity to truth. Truth is not one word. There's many different aspects and elements to the word truth. And to embody truth, you have to have many different qualities of understanding. And upright and moral soundness is one of them because you got to conform to the truth and understand what is true, right? Truth is not, see, the Western truth is powerful. Truth is, yes, I'm the truth. And yes, the truth is, yeah, it stands. That's the dumbass American ways, right? Truth is understanding you got to conform to truth. You got to come to a truth, right? You got to come to an agreement within your own being, even to come into the motherfucker truth. And the principles that we use in our mind and intellect to come to a truth is telling you how truth should be understood. What do we do when we need to know something true? We go research it. We look for evidence. We look for this. We look for that. We look for other people's opinion, all this other stuff. And then you come to the truth. This is how the law works. The law has a law, but guess what? When you're in it, they got to come to a truth. They got to have all different kind of fucking actions, right? They got to have all different kind of settings and all different kind of avenues to come to that damn truth. That's how powerful that shit is. Think about that shit. So again, one of my most favorite quotes is justice is the end of government. Why? Because when you're in justice within yourself, you don't need nobody to police you. And you already know a lot of people, came to that understanding. We ain't fucking with nobody, we ain't harming with nobody, we ain't, and if we do accidentally harm somebody, we know we gotta pay for that shit. Ain't no pointing fingers, we gotta eat that. You know, that's why I can come on here and tell you when I've been wrong many times. I'm wrong because that's principles and morals and principles that I live by and I stand by, and that shit's way more important than some pride and ego of being wrong and try to justify. Try to go dance all around being wrong. Fuck it, I'm wrong. Easy to get be. It's easier to be wrong than it is to sit there and say you right. Ain't that crazy? Think about that. So again, justice is the end of government because they know this was written because they knew. And this is a big article. Anybody should go read Federalist number 51. It's actually very beautifully written, right? It is, you know, because it talks about, you know, if man were angels, there would be no need for government. But this is exactly why we got government. They're telling you, motherfucker, because y'all ain't moral, just, upright individuals. They basically saying, bitch, we gotta rule over you. That's what they're saying. Bitch, we gotta rule your ass. Right? Look at how y'all act. Y'all can't get it together. We gotta rule you. That's the justice system, man. And that's why I love this quote, because after that it says it's the end of civil society. Y'all motherfuckers know what civil society means? Civil, your schools, your fucking state hospitals, all the shit that they got their hands in. That's the civil society, motherfucker. The family court system, the all the other shit. Family court system, criminal justice system, civil services. They gotta serve your ass all day long because you can't stand upright and just. So they gotta administer justice because you can't administer it to your own self. And people think I'm crazy when I say, you know what, that motherfucker, they deserve that. And you be like, why? Well, look, what the fuck? What do you mean, why? You think it's just there, man? There's morals and principles to life, motherfucker. There's universal law that comes before all. You know, that's why it says justice is the end of government, is the end of civil society. Because when you're in justice, you don't need no government. Therefore, you don't need civil services because you could teach your kids. You could teach your kids. You ain't fucking with nobody. You could police yourself. You know how to help they and your brethren. They know you're gonna be trying to help build a community and not fucking destroy it. They know you're gonna be like, hold on, this ain't right. They know. They understand. They understand the principle before they ever laid this shit down. The foundations of this shit down. That's why they want to train your communist Marxist ass to hate it. Oh, it's oppression. Yeah, we already know what the fuck they did. We knew it was a lot of. We know what time it was, but that's just how they did business back then. How did it all change? Because motherfuckers started getting smart. Why do they want to destroy it now? Because motherfuckers are getting smart. Masters say, oh, we can't have smart motherfuckers running around here because they're damaging our bottom line. There's people that want to rule us, man. But there's things in place that was there, that was set in stone for a divine individual, divine beings. That's a fact. When you study the law, you can see, okay, when you go very deep into the psychology and spirituality of the law, when it starts intertwining science, religious beliefs, Western and Eastern understandings, you like, damn, this is pretty dope. Think about it. Think about it. And it says where we're at to this very day. It has ever been and ever will be pursued until it be obtained. Motherfucker ever never put two and two together. Maybe they doing a lot of this shit because they just want, did they put this out in a equal understanding? Hey, if they figure it out one day, they got it. Because individually, when you do it, when you figure it out, you got it. They ain't fucking with you. They know, like, well, they respect you. Ain't that crazy how the energy works? They respect you, you know? And I know you could attest to this, your eyes magnifying, you know? You could attest to this. They respect you after that. They got respect for you. When I go into these places, man, they got utmost respect. They know what I'm about to do when I'm doing it. Hello, how you doing? Have a conversation. You know, back in the days when I used to go in that motherfucker, they was telling me what to do, had an attitude, do this, do that. Here's the paperwork. This how you're supposed to do it. No, no, no. Now I tell them how they're supposed to do it. And then when I used to be, in the lower levels of like referees and shit, I'm talking on a kind of custody thing. Referees and shit, which are nothing but attorneys and shit. And when I eliminated their ass and went in front of, family court judges that were elected, it's a whole different fucking ball game. Now you start getting shit from the judges' chambers. You start getting personal shit. They'll actually call you. They'll contact you. I mean, this shit is unfucking believable. Before you'd have to call them and you can't get nobody. How the fuck you go from no contact to all the contact in the world? They'll email you. They'll move how they're supposed to move because they're public fucking servants. That's what they are. That's what you hold them to. They have no power over you. You know when they got power over you? When you're unjust, when you ain't right in your heart. They already know. And I realized this after yesterday. More in depth. More in depth, man. Exactly. And this brother right here, guys, listen, man, this is a powerful brother right here, man. And I tell you, go over there, subscribe to his channel. Everything is straight facts. Everything is 100% facts. And I've learned a lot from him, you know, and this is a side that I never knew, you know, I never knew. I never knew the side, and because I never had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? I never had to go through it, but now I got to go through it. Guess what I get? Knowledge, experience, learning, knowing where I went wrong, and I got a brother to help me out, just like I help other people out on the side I do know, which is custody, and that's what I'm about to get into. And I'm sorry this is kind of long and dragged out, but I want to give. I'm trying to give you guys the knowledge and understanding how powerful you are And this is where we should have been years ago, and we would have saw. I mean, if 100 million people, even 10 million people, understood how we're being played in a lot of their systems, and one of the biggest ones are what? Court systems through unjust bullshit ass laws, and then the other one is family court is one of the most detrimental things to society, which contributes to crime, contributes to assault, contributes to domestic violence, contributes to all kind of broken families, contributes to fathers running the fuck away or whatever the fuck goes on with that. You know, the system is set up to a woman's emotions, guys. I'd have made videos about that. Women, um, I mean, the court system is set up to the actions of a woman's emotions. And this is no disrespect to women, it just is. They can go in there tomorrow and boom, you in courtroom. You like, wait, what did I do? You know, like what the fuck did I do? Wait. Now I'm not talking about motherfuckers who do shit. If you do shit, this don't apply to you. Remember, this applies to upright and just individuals. This anything I ever say does not go to a fuck motherfucker. This is why I never come on. I can't put all this information on my channel because the wrong people get it and they ain't right and they do that's another thing about understanding this. It's not for everyone because a motherfucker will take shit and do ill intents. Like they'll do shit that ain't upright. They'll want to do it just to get out of a jam. Nah, this is some shit that you live. You know, you live this shit. This ain't something that I just and people will come to me like, yo, you can help me out. I'm like, nah, no, you want a quick fix. I'm not with that. If you're willing to learn, change your life, and walk that walk, you know, you got to do it. You know, because I ain't going in. That's you. This your life, man. I don't want to even fuck with him, you know? So, for only things that facts. So, you know, um, back to what I was saying. If 10 million people, I mean, 10 years ago, if 10 million people understood how these systems, even the traffic bullshit, I don't think they would be around the way they are. They definitely would not be doing the shit they were doing. They would be back to highway and safety. And I do agree, we need, right now, the shit that I see in Rochester, I'm like, yo, I be saying, where the fuck the cops at? When I'm driving speed limit down the fucking street and a car rips by me doing 80 miles an hour in the other lane of oncoming traffic and blowing through lights, that motherfucker is gonna kill innocent fucking people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not with that mentality of, you know, fuck the police. You know, you already know how I am with the cops. You already know. I don't like the fuck shit. You know, I don't like the bullshit that the system implies and that these fucking servants go out there and force. I ain't with that shit. But I agree, I'm all in agreement with these motherfuckers. Look, they gotta be stopped, man. The other day, I got the video where this motherfucking late not cracked out, sorry, fented out woman smashed and crashed into a school bus. Lady got hurt and she was running, and I followed the motherfucker. I followed her. I followed her. Hold on one second. And I followed her, and I went back to the scene, told the car, like, look, this car is over here. And while they were driving, they could have probably hit 4 or 5 other cars, man. You know, I mean, it just is what it is, man. I mean, we need it for I mean, who? Listen, man, we don't have a society enough right now. When J Rock shoots Ray Ray on the fucking corner, who's gonna fix that? Who's coming to clean that mess up? We need him. Sorry, guys, we ain't ready for no self governance. All this We don't need government shit. I ain't with that shit. We need a balanced government where it's powered by the people, where we make them move. That's how it should be done. And they should be like a police, a real police accountability board should be done by the people, not 15 people, but like a whole mass of people. Like that should be our entertainment. It shouldn't be fucking sports, fucking movies and a gazillion reality shows. It should be where that's how it should be. It should be televised, like in every community. Like that should be the way of life. And to get this shit back into perpetual balance, you know? And the herd follows. They be like, wow, look at all these people. You know what? That they are right. We can have both, you know? Just like I said with the rainbow shit. Fuck that. It don't need to be in a school, but guess what? We can have an area in the school where they can do the shit, all the shit they want, and they go to it. It should be a choice. Let them play the rainbow, whatever they want to do. They can have one area of the building. Yeah, okay, we got funding. Look, I'll help fund the shit. I don't give a fuck. I mean, everybody's got a right to do things as long as they ain't fucking with nobody. But a lot of this shit that they be doing, trying to brainwash kids and all this other stuff, I'm not with that. That ain't cool, you know. But anyway, I'm about to get into what I wanted to get into, and this is about standing on your principles, morals, your intent, you know, and even when you think shit is just at the absolute worst, as long as you still stay in that space, woo way, you know, no action, no energy, that shit comes full circle. It comes back. I've got too many examples of understanding that knowledge of let it go. It's gonna come back. Give it zero energy. It'll come back. You know, it'll come back when it's ready. When it's ready to embody you, it'll come back. You gotta let go, cut all ties, cut all thought, cut all thinking. Don't give it no energy. And that's another thing. We think too much, man. You know, we think way too much. But I'm gonna take a quick intermission. Um, I gotta get my I gotta get my morning Joe, no coffee, my morning Joe. But so I'm about to take this quick intermission. Um, so just give me 1 second. Give me about 5 minutes. So this will be a quick intermission. So as soon as I get this to connect, we'll leave it at. Leave it at which one is it? Leave it at a little beat. All right, so give me a minute, and then if you don't want to hear it, you can fast forward at about 5 minutes. I'll be back. Shout out to Yah is magnified. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Took too long. Oh, it's busy in there. Sorry about that. But I'm back. Let me know if we're still alive. Let me know if we're still alive, guys. Sorry about that. I gotta run back out there again to pick it up because let me know if we're still good. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if y'all still here. Maybe I can't hear. Hold on, what's that? All right, let me know if we're back. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties coming back. Give me a thumbs up if we're back. Take one more second. I can't see any comments, anything. And it says 0 watching. Are we back, guys? Let me know if we're back. I'm back now. Let me know if y'all can hear me. God, I hate this stupid ass. Let me know if we're back. Let me know if we're back, guys. I don't have nothing on my end. Anybody here? Get a thumbs up. It shows the mic moving, but I don't see anybody letting me know if they can hear me or not. I'm on 3 channels and nobody is here. Okay, that's odd. I want to keep going and nobody's here. Let me refresh this shit. Okay, there it goes. Jimbo's slide. Now it goes. Jumped up to 17. Okay. God damn it. I hate these fucking lids, man. What's up with these lids always dripping everywhere? Sorry guys, I'm having a chai drip fest. All right, Jimbo, melanated with common sense. All right. All right, now it's up to. Oh my God, this shit is like leaking everywhere. All right, there it is. Now it's back. But shout out to everybody watching and ain't chatting. It's pretty odd. There's a lot of people that only be like two people chatting, which I mean I get it, but it's a lot of that's quite a few people. I know people are moving about at work, shit like that. But, yeah, so back to things we should have been learning. Um, uh, is understanding yourself, waking up, understanding your true power, you know, being a moral and just person, move with your heart, you know, move with your energy, and, try to make people, try to make everyone around you, better. I got to put this up. Make everyone around you better. And always try to improve, you know, improving things, improving yourself, your surroundings, try to build. That's what we should be doing. So as far as the main point of this video was, you got a lot of you guys been here for a while, um, going through the trials and tribulations of life. We all stumble upon issues and shit. Y'all already know. One was with my ex, and I had two, my son and my daughter that I haven't seen in over 2 years. And I was put through the ringer, you know, put through the ringer, and I'm talking ringer, from being, that, you know, everyday, role, you know what I mean? Every day, never missed a day of my kid's life, to wake up one day seeing them, and and within that time, I ain't seen him since. Not from my doing, but because we have a system in place that actually caters to this behavior, uh, and it's detrimental to society. One, and the way it's set up, is it fair? It is fair, um, but you got to make it fair. It's fair, but you got to make it fair. Fair into in the upper parts. Is it unjust and unfair? Absolutely. Is it there to sway you away and railroad you? Yes. But that's why I said, when you learn, when you understand, when you realize, then the whole game changes. Facts over feelings, right? Emotions aside, and take out your emotions and put in the motion, right? And then it becomes woo way, effortless, just flow. Just flow. All you got to do is just flow. Everything is all there for you. You just got to find it. You know, I just got a friend of the court case open on me. I live with my kids and their mother. Just got a friend of the court case open. I don't know. Maybe that text didn't come out right. But so I went through all that and use the system, go run down, get an order protection. Nothing happened. Just that's just what they do. And it's what people do. A lot of us been through it. They give them out like candy, um, and then they go and some of us. It always seems to be the good ones, right? The people. It always seems to be like the good father figures that, for some reason, it's well established, well known that they want to take they want to take a motherfucker straight in front of the courts, straight to the people, and then they want to keep the kids from them. You know, I've helped. How many people that's been through what I've been through. Like this, what I went through and going through is nothing new, and it ain't nothing that's going to get old anytime soon. This is just a society of what this nation has created. This nation created that, and it caters to that. A friend of the court, that's family court here in Michigan. Oh, they opened up a case on it. But yeah, and like I said, this is one of uh, the most destructive pieces of our reality that is, that is helps to the downfall. You know, doesn't do it. It doesn't really do. I mean, there. I mean, there's always good and bad. All right, but the reality of the fact is, governments have no business in family matters. That just is what it is. We allowed it, we let it, and this is the result. We got a badass, fucked up system um, that does what it wants, unless we, hold them accountable and understand what they're doing. It's good, fake Mike. So, my situation, bring coming back to my situation is, that happened to me, and um, if I've talked about it before. When I first split up, I had the opportunity to just take my kids and they be with me, and then she would have to, you know, uh, take me to court and go that route. But I didn't. I didn't do that. I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to give it no energy. Like I just wanted to either we figure it out, or unfortunately, I gotta go to them and have them do it. And that's the route I took. And for 2 years plus, I'm like, damn, that was the wrong fucking route. But I went back going to court for 2 years, and then finally, what it was, I think back in October, it was done. Like the whole thing was done, and then we're just waiting on the decision. Now, the decision usually comes within 45 days or so. October, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months it took for them to come to decision for my ass. 5 months. 5 months. And I let it. I was like, I'm gonna let it go because I was gonna come back with a and I'm still debating on that side. But yeah, it took them that long, which was over, you know, uh, over amounts of time to come with a decision. And the decision that I got, one second. And first off, we shouldn't even be having to deal with anybody making decisions on any of our lives, unless unfortunately, it has to. But we should be morally capable enough and upright enough to be able to figure it out amongst ourselves. But we all know that don't happen. Um, so um, um, doing our whatever. We should be able to handle it ourselves. So, anyways, I get mail yesterday, and I'm like, damn, big mail. And I'm going to court I'm going to court for another thing, you know, child support. So I'm thinking, okay, they responded. That was fast. Wow. But then I noticed the envelope was a big ass manila envelope with a letter taped to it, like a envelope taped to it. And I never seen this before. And it said from the chambers. And I'm like, oh, this ain't, this is from, it's from the chambers. And then I said honorable, the judge name. I'm like, oh shit, this must be something to do with the custody shit. And I'm like, okay, that's all about time. Because every time I went down there, I'd have asked them, hey, and I wonder if I wouldn't have asked them, keep asking them, would they have signed the shit? But then I read it, and I mean, it's thick. It's like 30 pages. 30 pages. And I'm like, so as I open, I'm like, and then I looked at the envelope. It was an empty envelope. And I'm like, okay. The envelope was taped to the uh to the folder on the front. And I'm like, oh, it's because they couldn't fit it inside the the I didn't understand why they did a folder. I mean, why they put an empty envelope on it. I mean, if they were too lazy to write my address on there because they had an envelope made and they realized that it wouldn't fit in the envelope, so they just taped the envelope to the manila folder. I don't know. I just couldn't figure that out to save my life. Well, why the fuck did they put an empty envelope on the side of this big, giant, thick ass manila envelope? I thought it was pretty crazy. So, anyways, I opened it up and it's 30 pages. I'm like, damn, what the hell? And then I started reading through it, and it's from the judge herself. No support magistrate, no referee, no nothing. Exactly how it's supposed to be. Um, exactly how it's supposed to be. And what I mean by exactly how it's supposed to be is it's actually coming from a legal, sorry, not illegal, a lawful response and perspective and decision and order. It's coming from the law. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay. And I don't know the contents of it or what's it going to say because, keep in mind, I was told and known as the, and I'm going to do a whole nother video on this alone, because I kind of went off the first part of it, but I'm going to do a whole nother video on it on its own. But, so, I go reading through it. And then, like I said, keep in mind, coming into this, I had an order protection on me. She had to come to court every time like she was an abused woman. I don't know how that's even possible because it just I wouldn't even that thought wouldn't even cross my mind because one of my things was if there was ever need to be police involved, you don't gotta ever see me again. You know, my ex had that, and I told her saying if you ever gotta call the police, you'll never see me again. That'll be that's like cheating. If the police come, we ain't together no more. If you gotta call the cops on me, there's no reason for me to ever be around you ever again in life. And that happened. That's why, the day we split, I mean, that might have been a bad choice of 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 a strategy for, you know, my ex. That might have been just a bad choice, a bad moment. I don't know. But all I know there was no coming back after that. So that's the road that I had to take, and that's the road I took. Best decision that I ever made. But once they, and this is advice to anybody, once your significant other, man, woman, he, she, be she, rainbow club, whatever, contacts the other man on you, it's time to go. Time to go. All right, and that's just my thing. It's just time to go. There could be, for one, we already know you can lose your life. All right, somebody calling on you, police, they're coming. They don't know you from Adam, whatever the situation may be. That's life. That's a life and death situation. That's a situation that I'll never get in again. So that's where I got to go. You might as well just cheated on me because I'm out. You know, I'm out. I can never trust you again. There's just that's it. That was the kill shot. You know, and that was just out of just anger. That was just out of anger. I ain't did nothing. Nothing never came of it. I had it all on video. I ain't even come to the fucking court. I'm like, well, this is the way I viewed it. All right, I viewed it as, all right, fuck it. You know, she went and got that. I ain't even show up. I got a default because in my mind I said, all right, I'll just get a default. I did, there's nothing there. I could go show them the video, be done with. But I didn't want to give. This is where I go into understanding energy, understanding Wu Wei. No action. I don't need no action. That right there, I need to look at. I looked at that as, okay, I ain't never coming back. I know what goes along with breaking up in a relationship. We all done had breakups or whatever, and all the other shit. I'm not gonna contact you. I already knew that. Once you dialed nine, or once you said you're gonna call, and then you went through with that, that was it. It was tunnel vision after that. So, that being said, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm not gonna show up to court, waste my fucking time and go in here and entertain all this bullshit and give her energy and whatever. I could have went easily got it off. I had the whole video of the thing. It was all bullshit. But I'm like, you know what? It keeps her away from me. For So that's why I look at just default. I don't. It's like a barrier for me. It's like I got it on her, and that's where I went. But lo and behold, I didn't realize that when I went to custody, that that was going to be used against me, and that's exactly what it was. And they came in there like they were just an abused, mother, and they needed an escort in a special room. I'm like, what in the fuck? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But it is what it is. That's just the game. So, you know, I had that I had that notch on me. I had another notch on me. I had I'm a YouTuber who don't believe in government on me. I don't believe in going to school. I don't believe in the doc. Believe this shit. I don't believe in the doctor. I don't believe in the good poke shots. I was just all bad. Boom. Everything against the system, right? That, and then on top of that, uh, I was just called everything in the book. You know, uh, I never contacted my kids. Uh, Never called them, even though it's the phone that I got is theirs, right? But this was all portrayed, put into the courts, and this is what they would deem me. Even when we went to the bullcrap trial, um, they brought, you know, it was days where the court said that she's supposed to let them talk to me. And I called nothing. And still went into the court and said, I never called. And I'm like, what? And I mean, it was my fault. I should have had the all that stuff, but I figured, I was doing paperwork my way, and it was gonna go a certain way, But anyways, I should have had that evidence. I didn't. But what she had was evidence of text messages. But I'm like, what? I'm like, and she said, and then she said that I never called when I actually had recorded the phone calls and the text, and I had everything, but I didn't even bring it to court because I didn't think that it was even going to go that far. I was planning on a dismissal, but that was a mistake that I made, and I got to learn from that. But anyways, so I was painted all this bad shit in court. All right, I went from first going into the court where, well, oh, the kids, they want to see you, and then no, I went to the first of the court. Oh, they don't ever want to see you again. They don't want nothing to do with you the first time. Then the law guardian, the law, they call it legal, law guard, children's attorney, whatever, comes back the next time, say, oh, they do want to see. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. It's funny how that changed. I wonder why. And then it went to they only want to see me once a month, and then it went to they don't want to see me at all, and they're happy the way they are. And I'm like, and keep in mind, I was going for 50-50. That's it. Equal. I was going for equal rights. She was going for sole custody and for me to have 1 hour of supervised visits. Yo, you guys, like this is what this is, and this is crazy because this is they are all agreed. The law guard agreed to the shit. And I'm like, this is some wild ass shit. Just painting me out to be this bad picture. And this happens to people every single uh all the time. Uh, it happens to a lot of people. A lot of us went through this. So, with all that in mind, I go through this whole corporate. I'm filing paperwork from the start, standing on my rights, 100% who I am, a man. Blood flowing man, flesh and blood. You know, and standing on my rights from the giddy up, not afterwards, from the jump. That's how we was gonna go into it. Nope, I wasn't going in with no attorney referees. I straight judged it. I rejected all that, requested a judge. That's it, elected judge, and that's what I got. Even through there, there was a lot of smirking and a lot of head shaking, and always every time I went asking me to get an attorney. Why? So the attorney could obtain jurisdiction and they would have full jurisdiction over me. But by me standing on who I was, you know, through the whole process, yes, they did have, jurisdiction over to hear the case, but they didn't have it over me. I didn't waive my rights. All right. If I would have got an attorney, I would have waived my rights. All right. This is how this shit works, guys. Because there's two sides. There's family court and there's child support court. There's surrogate court. All right, and there's CPS. There's a bunch of different. These are the factions of family court. And then there's domestic violence family court. It's a whole nother ballgame, right? And it's all to generate income for them, to keep us in the system and all that other stuff. But anyways, so I had all that against me. I filed a lot of paperwork, standing on my rights. That's it. Just being true to me. That's why the whole, however long I've been going, hour or so, has been me explaining, how, you know, with a good heart, good intentions, that, what, as long as you stand on your principles and, you don't, break and bend, and you did right and you didn't do wrong, you know, and you understand, you know, you can only it can only come back the way it's supposed to. What you put out has to come back. And if there's a negative side, you're being accused of all the shit that you ain't did, or you ain't have nothing to do with, and being told this and lied to, and when I know, uh, my kid's been, totally alienated from me. removed. God knows what's been said to him, but that's going to be found out. But God knows what's been said to him, about me. I don't know. Our last thing was all positive love, funny stuff, fist bumps. And, I told him this was going to happen. I told him what we had to go through, you know, but I haven't spoke to him over 2 years, and I've tried. But so fast forward to this document I got yesterday, which was a decision and order, and I read it. And I've never seen anything like this from nobody, you know. I only see shit like this in divorce court. And I know this was a rarity because it took 5 fucking months to get it. And, you know, it has me as, pro se on here. And, I don't like that term, but it is what it is. And, I was like, man, this is pretty thick. And it's actually I was reading it. I was like, oh man, I was dreading reading it because, all this. And then as I read it, started getting this feeling of something like, what in the hell? And then I read it, and then I read it again. I'm still gonna keep reading it, but I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is pretty crazy. Let me know if I'm live, guys, because this thing jumped off. Just throw a thumbs up or something, please. But let me know if I'm live. Oh, what's good, Mexican righteous? Y'all can hear me? Okay, what's good, Ace Jimbo? All right. So as I'm reading this, and this is coming from the judge, elected. And when I read it and I'm reading it, I'm like, wow. First start reading, I'm like, this is done in a lawful manner. This is written in a lawful manner. What I mean by that, this is not none of their paperwork. This is an actual, this is like something that comes from Supreme Court, like higher courts. And as I'm reading it, the way she structured this with case law and all and judicially noted facts. And I'm like, oh damn. And then I read it. Um, I'm like, wow, there's case laws in here. And then I keep reading it, and I see more case laws in here. And answers to and I'm gonna go through a whole video on this just so you guys can see. And you know, with case law backing up everything on her decisions and the order. So there's a lot of case law in here that are jewels for me also, and also the interpretation and opinion from a legal perspective, a lawful perspective, which is the judge, in which I got to take my hat off to, the way she wrote this. But I know it's been a long video already, but as I read farther and farther and got into it and got into it more, I'm like, this is kind of like in the favor of. Now, keep in mind, the law guard, her stance was supervised visits along with the mom. Now we already know whatever the law guardians say, that is set in stone in family court world, right? And again, it has more case law, case law, case law, case law, everything. Even down to prior to the parties' separation, father legally owned, weapons, right? And still possesses the weapon or whatever, and stuff like that. Yeah, we got a right to bear arms, and I said that. That wasn't an issue, right? The listen to the order. Listen to the decision on the order of protection. Wild, man. And then it goes into conclusions of law, relevant case law. She has a ton of case law in here, which I'm gonna take and I'm gonna read and it'll benefit a lot of other people because we get railroaded all the time. Real, you know, fathers, you know, with their children that get stripped away and just get just obliterated because of a let's just face it, of a bitter other. It even happens on the male side. This is just they alienate their kids. They have them fighting. This is just what it is, guys. We can't dance around it anymore. You know. So the conclusions of law, right? One of the issues was that order of protection. They always use, even the judge always said the order of protection to say, like, look, I'm like, a default order of protection ain't nothing. I just didn't show up to it. I was like, hey, it's a barrier. It is what it is. All right. So, I mean, there's a lot into this I'm gonna go into because basically every hold on, I'm gonna read this. Hold on. All right, and this is another thing. I stood on my principles. One thing is, in order for any rights to be stripped from you got to be parentally unfit. All right. Now it says right here, relative fitness of each party, including the willingness of each parent to foster a relationship with the other parent. There was simply no compelling evidence that impeached father's fitness as a parent. See matter of Charlo and Hughes, finding that the mother's behavior, which included making delusional statements to the children regarding the grandmother, forcing the children into hiding, becoming physical with the grandmother in the child's presence, called the mother's fitness as a parent into question. This is the case law, not her. Mother's assertions that the father was not taking hold on, where am I at? Hold on. Father have custody of child, refuse to believe. Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, right. Check this out. This one I meant to read. Sorry. Oh, right here, right here, right here. It says right here. Mother attempted to paint father as an anarchist. This is what we got to deal with, guys. You a truther. This is what the shit. I tell you, this is the shit that I had to deal with for years with the other one. Like I mean, when I went vegan, when I changed my lifestyle, I had literally CPS at my house all the time, kids starving, all this other shit, crazy. And then here we go, fast forward again. But anyways, um, check this out. It says mother also attempted to paint the father as an anarchist who refuses to obey governmental authorities and would not obey a court order. However, while father maintains a website where he admittedly expresses opinions about the government, father considers himself a United States citizen who is bound by federal state laws who would follow an order. Indeed, father assertion in regard is substantiated by evidence that he followed the terms of a 2-year order of protection with no violations thereof. In fact, the record establishes that for 2 years, the mother has made little to no effort to encourage the relationship between the father and the children. And the father submitted evidence supporting an interference that the mother was alienating the children from the father. Guy versus Guy court case law, it appears that the mother has fostered the children's dismissive attitude towards their father as well as their unwillingness to visit with him. In doing so, the mother has failed to honor the abiding principle that the children's best interests will be optimally served by allowing the development of a healthy relationship with both parents. Matter of Brown versus Ebser, whatever. Essentially, mother has been punishing father for his unwillingness to sever his relationships. Um, hold on, and then it goes. Hold on. I don't want to because I don't want to put names on here. Mother, father, fuck. Hold on, wait. Okay, hold on. Let me read some more. Okay, right here. It said, in sum, the court has concerns relative to mother's fitness in terms of willingness to foster the children's relationship with the father, but does not have any likewise concerns relative to father's willingness to foster children's relationship with the mother. ability for each parent to provide for children's emotional and intellectual development. Now, that was put in here because of what I submitted to the court on rights from a case law, which specifically stated that the ability of each parent to provide for the children's emotional and intellectual development. Now, that was deep right there. That was a deep one that I interjected in there because you can't dance around these things. They always say, "Oh, what's the best interest for?" It's really not the best interests of the children. That is a well painted misnomer in family courts. Point blank. Period. All right. It is, but it actually, when you get into the law, it's not. Okay, because there no government authority has the right, and I got the case law, which I submitted to this court, which which triggered this kind of response. It actually, when you break this whole thing down, hold on. Sorry, guys, hold on. Let me make sure. So, all right, all right. Now, effects of domestic violence. This is where, you know, there is no evidence in the record indicating that the domestic violence was anything other than an isolated incident with no negative repercussions on the children's well-being. Matter of Visco versus Visco. That's a case law rejecting the contention of the mother that one of the instances of domestic violence by the father against her outside of the presence of her child warranted an award of primary custody to her. Indeed, the children were not present for the argument between the parties that gave rise to the default order of protection against the father, and the acts upon which the order of protection was granted appear to be an emotionally charged reaction to mother ending her long-term relationship with the father. Importantly, when mother moved to extend the order of protection, the court denied that motion, finding no good cause to grant the mother's request. And I didn't even know she tried to extend that shit. I should have known, but I didn't get no letter. But they denied that shit. They knew it was what it was. I ain't even have to do nothing. They already knew. And a lot of this is coming from the paperwork that I filed because I left no end unturned, though I did some things wrong. And the judge, even in this document, has said that I did some things wrong, which prolonged, the outcome of this case, right? So, in a nutshell, I know that, and I don't want nobody to be, I want to establish a relationship with the mom so we can do this the right way. But I know she was madder than a motherfucker reading this shit. Madder than a motherfucker. 'Cause this shit was honestly balanced it all back out. I go from, having, obviously I ain't had no right until this order was, to now having, all right, I'm gonna get to what the order says. It says order. Consistent with the findings of fact and conclusions of law set forth and above, it is hereby ordered that the parties shall have joint legal custody of the children and shall cooperate and consult with each other in good faith to arrive at decisions that are in the best interest of the children with respect to health, education, and general welfare. And it is further ordered that neither party shall have a superior right to make such decisions for the children. In the event that parties are unable to agree upon any matter of important relative to the aforementioned areas of decision making, the parties shall first be required to attempt in good faith to resolve the disputes in mediation or arbitration prior to seeking judicial intervention. And it is further order um, that the mothers live with the father. I already know about all that, right? So I mean, this is what it boils down to, you know, equal rights, exactly what I wanted, equal rights to the children. Though the time is in question for now, but there is a counseling thing that's supposed to happen because it's been 2 years. I don't know what the fuck she's told them, and I don't want I want it to be right because I want to get to the bottom also of what happened. What happened? Because there's another jewel to this that I got to read that I have to read later because, it's still pending, right? It's still ongoing, but I had to share that with y'all because y'all remember all the shit that I had to go through, and y'all remember when the shit was, when she was rocking out, like seriously, seriously. And this is all stemming from just being who the fuck you are, just flowing. That's it. All I did was just the truth. I embodied all the elements of the truth. That's it. And I used the law, the truths of the law. That's all I did. That's all I did. Because the legal process isn't true. I didn't want to use that. I used the lawful process. And unbeknownst to me, this is what I did for years. Even because of my other relationship, I got custody of my kids and I got child support. So, I didn't never have to deal with child support. Now I got to deal with child support. I don't know nothing about that, so I got to go through it. And shout out to my brother, Yah is magnified. I mean, I done learned so much, man. Custody, I know that like the back of my hand. I could help anybody out with custody. And it's just, hey, if you're a father, you're gonna be a father. That's how you're gonna go through the case. You're gonna be that father. Nobody's gonna tell you not to be the father. And by experience, now well over, man, I started going to court with my other kid's mom back in shit 2010. It's 2024. 14 years of experience. And I actually been going to court since 1997, if you really want to put it into perspective. That was the first time I ever been taken to court. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know, that was like, yeah, when my son was first born. The grandmother made their mom go down and get child support on me, and I was only making like $250 a week. Man, shit, when I owed back pay, I was bringing home $100 a week, and I was only 18, 19. Yeah, I was only 20, not 20 at the time. Here I go. I'm living home with Mom Dukes. You know, making like 300 a week. Next thing you know, I'm getting back pay 150. I'm bringing home $150 a week. But I didn't know nothing about the game. And what was crazy, when we got back together, well, I mean, we were together the whole time, but whatever. We got married. That child support was still counting all them years. And guess what? When we split up, she went back to child support, and they tried to get me for crazy money. And I'm like, wait, we were married. Well, you didn't come down and you didn't, I'm like, what? But what I had to do is just prove all that. And then they just balanced it all out and zeroed it all out, you know? But they're going to do whatever they want if you don't understand this process, if you don't understand how this game works, you know? So, yeah. So I just had to share that with you guys and let y'all know, one day I'm going to go live and be like, look, there they go. Always never lose faith, man. But sometimes you just gotta let it go, let it flow, man. A lot of problems is because we give effort into stress. We put effort into stress, effort into being down. Like, damn, I can't see my kid every day. Fuck it. You just gotta wait. Live life, enjoy life still. It's gonna come back. And I always knew they was gonna come back, you know? I always knew they was gonna come back anyways. But I didn't know this was gonna come into play. I'm like, damn, well, I knew they were gonna come back, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this. They're forcing the other party to say, look, that in a nutshell, you gotta open the door. If you don't, it's gonna reverse. And I'm hoping that she does, you know what I'm saying? And we can have we can be like my other kid's mom. Great relationship. Go out to eat, all kinds of shit. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's not that hard. Get over your feelings. I mean, it's been over 2 years. I'm married and all. Shit. What is there to be mad at? Nothing. We all learn lessons in life. Everything's a life lesson. You know never to dial 911. That's easy. I learned a lot of things, you know? Don't dial 911. And this is, learning, learning experience. I learned a lot of shit not to do, you know? So, anyways, a lot of times the mother person feels towards the dad or the court sides with the mom. Exactly. That's what they do. But because the father don't fight or don't know how to fight or gets an attorney, and that is game over. Even with an attorney, you can win. I did it the first time, you know. The first time I did this years ago, man, I got a divorce. I paid $0 for a divorce, you know? $0. The attorney invited me, the opposing attorney invited me to her office because she was done to get the damn paperwork. And I've had three attorneys quit on my ex. Three of her attorneys quit because I just wouldn't back down. And this case, I had two, I don't know what the reasons were, but they had two attorneys. One and that disappeared, and then there was another one. You know, and understanding the process really helped me out a lot because they weren't able to do their forked tongue like they normally do. They weren't able to roll steamrolling like they normally do, all the way down to the trial. They even tried to maneuver me into an order in the trial, but I stand firm on everything that I stood for. Stand firm on everything that I put into the record. That my rights matter over everything, and I have did not done anything to give those rights away. And they had to honor that. They had to honor it, and that's a beautiful thing. They had to honor that, you know. And I got to read something else too, guys. This is something else too. This is another jewel. I'm about to read this real quick because I have to do a counseling program, which I agreed to because it's been 2 years. I don't know what she's told them. And in the counseling, I'm gonna, you know, the counseling is for talk about situations. So I'm a very intelligent human being. I'm capable of talking. But anyways, I have to go to this thing. It's like it's called Building Families First. It's like a counseling. Um, but there's steps to this thing. And, I'm going to do it under my terms, because they have their own form. No, no, it don't work like that. I don't do that. I'm going to formulate my own, intervention and attach it to this. I will be filing this into the court so they know on what I'm agreeing to and what I'm not agreeing to, because I know what this I'm research this company. I'm gonna hold them to their mission. The court ordered programs, all that. It's pretty. I'm gonna share all this when it's all said and done. But I'm gonna read you this jewel. All right. Now I know that the judge was speaking to me a lot in this document. Okay. And I know the other, listening. And again, I ain't got nothing but love for you. Hope you know, we could reach out and do this together. You know what I'm saying? But says right here, ordered that completions of stages 1 through 5, right? Sorry, 1 through 4. One, two, no, 5, right? That completions of stages 1 through 5 of the Building Families First Parent Child Reunification Program shall constitute a change in circumstances sufficient to warrant inquiry into whether modification of this order would be in the best interest of the children. If y'all don't know what I read, I know exactly what I read. Okay? Are we still live, guys? We still live? Let me know if we're still live, guys. All right. Okay. Um, back, back to even. Yeah, I have a feeling you're headed down that path. Well, like I said, man, all you gotta do is hit me up. I help people out. Custody is what I'm good at, and if you got other issue, I got another brother that you can talk to. You know, but yeah. So as I read that, that's to me. So all I wanted was equal rights and what's equal under the law, and this is what was given. If I did not know the shit I had, or if I had an attorney, I would have had just supervised visits. Supervised visits. So yeah, man, it was a beautiful day when I picked this up. I'm like motherfucker, because I'm like reading it, and I had like that. Oh God, here we go. But as I read it, I was like, what? I'm like, this is like not in favor. And then I read all the case law supporting everything, and this entire decision and order was based off of what I put out. So you got when you understand the legal framework and the legal psychology, you already know. Like I read this, this was set up because I put the piece in the right place. This was set up exactly to walk that line of we're not going to violate his rights. This isn't even something that I could appeal. Right? This ain't something that I could even appeal because this is what I asked for 50-50. I didn't ask for no sole custody or no shit like that. What do I want to do that for? You know, we got equal rights. You know, yeah, right. 2021 at me email. Sorry, yeah, right. 2021 at gmail.com. Now keep in mind, guys, I know they checked out my YouTube channel. They know what I talk about, but they even put in there. I obeyed the order. They ain't even considering what she's saying because I obeyed an order for 2 years. And they can see I come to court. So how am I an anarchist if I don't believe in the government? I'm not in there, and when I'm in there, I'm not acting a fool. Very respectful. That's another thing, guys. Don't act a motherfucking fool. Don't get emotional. I did that the first go round. I never was emotional. Sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, seriously," like that, or "Oh my god." But anything outside of the facts, nope. Not walking in with an attitude, giving everybody attitude. Just stand firm. Standing firm on your word is not an attitude. That's it. Standing firm on your word is not an attitude. You can't act a fool, and you'll have respect. The bailiff always respected me coming in there. When I came, oh, they were like, oh, he likes to record. They were like, well, I didn't record none of this shit. I mean, I would have loved to record it, but I look back, I'm like, it wasn't nothing to record. Wasn't anything to record. It's all in the decision and order. And this shit is thick as a goddamn divorce decree. I ain't never seen anybody have no shit like this. Only in a divorce decree, not in a family court fucking parent and parent and custodial and non-custodial type shit, or what do they call it, respondent and petitioner. No, I've never seen that. And I've seen a lot of people's custody agreements. I've never seen anything like this before. You know, it was beautiful, man. It was really beautiful to see that. You know, I spent hours researching, studying for years and hours on end, for something that can impact my life, you know? And then it goes back to the whole truth community, guys. This is what we should have been doing. We could have been doing this with issues that we have outside of family, like, you know, uh, lawsuits, traffic shit, buying property, understanding, how this game works, man. And we could have been in a better position. And actually, it wouldn't. Where would the division be? With sheep, we're all together, man, in the community. Teach them. We ain't got to come off with the flat earth or fucking this number and that number or look at this. I'm spiritual and I don't eat GMO. Man, just fucking just teach. If they want to learn, learn. Be the example. When I learned this custody shit years ago, people knew and they came to me. That's a change. You about to change. You about to help somebody change their position. And just think about if we would have did this all over everything we do in life. You buy a house, now get to the nuts and bolts of the shit. You know, you buy a piece of property, get to the nuts and bolts of the shit. Offsetting debt and all that other shit, balancing out with the debt based system, figuring that shit out. I've been wrapped up in this so far, like I wasn't able to dive into all that. I've been able to dive in it, over the years. I understand things, but I got to go deeper into it. Understanding how to move privately and notice the difference between public and private. And dealing with this family court stuff, you're a private citizen. You got to stay that, and that's what I did through the whole. I'm private, man. What are you talking about? I'm a private person. I don't like the word person in the law, but I'm a private individual. I'm a private man. In paperwork, I put man, living, breathing, blood flowing, flesh and blood human. A man. I'm not the legal entity. You know, let them know. Yeah, I'm not this legal entity y'all think I am. This is all commercial. And one, they have no right in. I mean, that's case law, even in our business, in our family. But they use that to do child support. You know, and I know that I'm only 10 people watching on 3 channels. This ain't interesting to people because people just don't give a fuck. People don't care. You know. It's not entertaining. This is work right here. Motherfuckers don't want to work. They want easy shit. I'd rather go just watch a channel that just feeds me bullshit all day. And I can learn that because all I got to do is watch it with my pixels and use my retina cones, which are circular. But I want to watch square pixels and think I'm learning some shit. The fuck out of here with this dumb shit. I'm so like, I mean, it's just so ridiculous, you know? How does the truth community improve your position in life? That's what you should be looking at. If it don't, then shit, it's time to make a change. What's good, free? Because we are free. Perfect timing. Exactly what I was about to say. We enslave ourselves into these fucking false dichotomies and beliefs, in these truth communities. You know, it's ridiculous, man. But it's beautiful, man. My family keeps getting bigger. This is another situation I got, but that'll be in the future. And that is what it is. But hey, you gotta let go. Let go and shit'll come back, man. It's like I told you, my sister, that's another story, man. My sister seeing that and then being able to reunite with my sister, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. And to see the change that she's made in her life, man, it's amazing, man. Unbelievable. My sister, maybe y'all will get to meet her one day. Is 3 years ago is a 100% different person. Not 10%. I mean, just woke up and just is totally erased her old life and created a new one, man. Can you use affidavits in family court to claim your status? It depends on what you mean. The only status is you're a man. That's the number one status. You're a man. You know, and it's a lot of shit on the internet that we just don't be needing. And shout out to my brother Yah is magnified. He showed me that like a lot of this shit out here that you see, It ain't even that complicated. You just got to know the process. All this other shit out here is just doing too much, man. You know? And all you got to do is claim to be a man, and that's it. You know? Thanks, Mexican Righteous. Yeah, man, my sister, man, that's beautiful, man. Man, I'm so thankful and grateful, man. It's like you just let go, and the things come back, man. You let go, they come back, man. You know? I mean, shit. You let go, it comes back. I mean, that happens in my life, man. You just let go, they come back. I've had too many incidents where that happened, man, where I wanted to be like, no, I want it this way. But when I learned to let go, man, it don't matter. It's going to come back. And that's an amazing thing, man. I've done it too many times to know that's the remedy. It's to let go. It'll come back, you know? Let go, it'll come back, you know? No matter what it is. If it's not conducive to you, you let go. If it's not conducive to you, you let go. You can't give it your energy because it only hurts you, you know? We only hurt ourselves, you know? When we hold on to things, we hold on to our own pain. Let that shit go. Move on. You know, don't induce it either. That's another thing is we're taught to go uh all that fucking love and light shit and all that past trauma shit. Guys, we gotta get about this stupid shit, man. You know, oh, you gotta go back and correct your past traumas and all this other shit. What the fuck how do people that talk about living here and now and we only exist in the moment talk about past traumas? Man, get your ass out of here with that stupid shit. You know? Get your ass out of here. Get that shit out of here. You know? So, I mean, it's it's uh it's pretty it's pretty deep, man. You know, and this is principles on life, you know. Yeah, I saw that fake Mike. And there's another thing, people should be watching this Donald Trump shit because it's showing you how the law works. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, it's all propaganda." It's all no, the fuck it ain't. Watch that shit because he had something. He secured a bond. You know, funny. There'll be a video out about the $91 million. One says 91, one says 92. Which one is it? One says 91.6, and I'm talking to the fucking numbers fucking community. Which one is they gonna use? You know, because they got all kind of news stories. I looked earlier. 91 million. You got 91.6 million. You got 92 million. Which one are they gonna go with? You know, which one? Which number are they gonna fucking use for their fucking humanity changing knowledge? You know, Jesus. You know. Yeah, it's about Trump posts $92 million bond. That's the news that I saw, unless there's some new shit, you know. It's 92. One article says 91, another one says 91.6. Uh, you know, so I don't know. Go pick your number. Yeah, play the video I sent. It's only a minute. I don't know how to play videos on this thing. No, no, oh, it's a new one? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Where you texted to me? Hold on. Yeah, I don't see nothing. Oh, there you go. Shit. Website. Send it to me on in the Instagram message because I'm on the phone. If I click out of it, I'm gonna have to refresh it. Send it to me on the Instagram message. I'm going on there now. Shit, how do you even get to the Instagram messages? Is that it? Okay, I see you just sent it. Shit. All right, hold on. Let me try to get it over there. You're so fucking stupid. Oh my god, you're so stupid. Can y'all hear me? That's funny. That's fucking funny. Yeah. That's funny. Y'all can hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. That's funny. That's fucking funny. Yeah, so yeah, man, so I thought you were talking about that bond. But yeah, people could pay attention to like these court cases and actually read documents and, learn the law. I mean, they've dropped a lot of jewels and, it's crazy. But yeah, guys, it's just these things could have just helped us out in life, man. Me knowing this stuff helped me out. It helps me out in life, guys. Helps me out. You know, it's just simply understanding contracts. You know, it's just an understanding. You can see, when you're in a contract and when you're not in contract. You know when it's an agreement and non-agreement. You know, another thing is to know there's no money in this country. So what are we doing? Well, start learning. You know, start learning. A lot of people go through a lot of shit, man. It's just because we don't know. And then, we got to hire an attorney and we already know what goes on there. And it's wild, man. Just being an upright person, trying to do right, knowing you're wrong, But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. And I could sit back and say that, and I thought like after going through all that, I thought it was a big waste, I thought it was a waste. I thought it was a waste. Um, sometimes you doubt yourself. I'm like, man, I did all that and I had to go through all that, but that's just the process. You got to go through that. And, I'm like, I'm sitting here in a fucking trial playing a charade shit show, but that's just the process for that venue. You got to do it, you know? You got to do it. And now I realize, like, damn, I had to do that because look at the outcome that I wanted. Though at the time, man, I left out of there steaming, raving, stark, and mad. I'm like, God, I was so defeated after that. I was defeated all the way up until I got this paper. I'm like, it was an even playing field the whole time because I simply stood on the foundation of who I am to the best of my abilities of understanding. Could I have done better? 100%. Is there probably other ways? Absolutely. Am I going to stop learning? No, I'm not. You know? And I think, like, just doing videos in general, I mean, I want to tap into, like, Understanding certain parts of the law, sharing things, do something that could benefit people. You know, all this truther shit is just nonsense. And then I'll drop, my spiritual understandings of, certain things and how it intertwines with the law system on how the foundations that they set forth are coming from that perspective. You know, it really is. And it actually makes you want to be a better person. It actually makes you want to contribute, the right way, you know? Oh, another thing they had in there was about my license situation. Oh, he don't have a license, da da da, this and that, da da da. That was in there, also. But I mean, obviously, you got to know that I know something because it ain't even a fucking issue. It just says on a visitation that I go, it needs to be a registered vehicle. It says this, a registered vehicle. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me see what it reads. But I thought this was pretty funny too. All right. Um, hold on. Let's see what it says. And this was ordered, right? And it's ordered that mother shall provide father with names, address, telephone numbers, and online portal information if any of the children healthcare providers, doctors, dentists, therapists, counselors, and the names of the children academic providers. That means she got to contact me, guys, and let me know all this shit. It says mother shall provide. It don't say father shall go looking. I mean, this shit is wild, man. Like how? I mean, they sniffed right through this shit. They sniffed right through it. And it says, father shall be entitled to reasonable phone and virtual contact with the children, free from interference or interrogation by mother. They must know that this is in the aspect of like, look, we know your ass alienated them. You don't write an order like this not knowing that. They know what time it is. You just got to bring it out of them. Even though how bad it looks, it don't matter. Stand on your foundation, guys. Stand on the foundation, you know? Stand on the foundation. You know. Uh, Let me see. Okay, wait. It says, Father shall be entitled." All right. Each party shall have the right to full independent access to the children's providers, healthcare, counseling, educational, social, religious, or otherwise. All right. Including right to the records, consultation with providers and activity, and mother shall execute any release necessary for father to obtain information, and is further ordered that mother shall provide father with, oh, I already read that. It says ordered that mother shall inform father of the children's extracurricular activities and, where applicable, practice/game schedules, and is further ordered that party shall keep other apprised of their current addresses, telephone and or cell phone and email addresses. And it is further ordered that neither party shall block another party for sending and receiving calls, text messages. Boom. And it says, oh, there's another one. Notify medical measure. Either party shall, obviously influence of drugs, use corporal punishment. Okay. Um, okay. You see how deep this shit is? But it does say this right here. It says, ordered that any driver of a vehicle in which the children are being transported shall be a licensed driver, and any such vehicle shall be properly inspected, insured, and registered as required by New York State. You see what they're saying, right? You see what she's saying right in there? Ordered that any driver or a vehicle. We all know the vehicle and traffic laws, but that's neither here nor there. you know. But you see that order? That is not a favorable order if you're the other side reading that shit. That means they seen through your shit all the whole fucking time. Or that means the paperwork was that powerful that I brought all that shit into question. And I'm gonna actually go over all the paperwork that I submitted to the courts, and I'm gonna go through to to show y'all the mistakes that I did make. And she said that I made mistakes, which I respect. I mean, honestly, the overall thing about this judge is I have to take my hat off and say she did what she was supposed to do. She upheld the rights, even though I thought at her times it wasn't professional, but I did peep how she worded things, how she did things. I just didn't know the whole entire process because I've never had to go all the way to a trial before in family court. I always won, or it was always done before trial. But I think that this had to go to the trial to create this decision. So, yeah, that was dope. So now, I mean, she's got this order. She got to reach out. I mean, it's what it is. I got open arms, open hands. Like, look, I'm here. I ain't never went nowhere. I don't got no ill intent, no ill will. I ain't got no problems. Won't be any smartness from me. I'll only tell you I love you and I want to raise the kids. That's it. Because that's all I got. I ain't have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing else. You know? I ain't got nothing else. All I got is my word. You know? So, all right, all right, free. But again, shout out to you guys that stayed on the stream. I know it was long, but I just wanted to share some things. Um, and I will, like I said, sit down and go through things that I filed to try to help people, navigate through this crap. Because a lot of us do get railroaded, guys. We get railroaded. You know, we get railroaded. And man, it's a beautiful day, man. I mean, it's a beautiful time, man. It's spring. This is what happens. This is the equinox is coming up, baby. The equinox is coming up, man. And Aries is coming up. So it only fits that I will be going through this in the beginning and a fresh start. I mean, it just is what it is. Beautiful timing. I couldn't have pictured it any better, you know? In the A rise, the arise of the apex. It is what it is. And like I said, man, we got to stop truthing and start proofing, proof. We've been told truth. We just, splatter it with no proof, you know? Show the proof. If you can't prove it, it ain't the truth. Yeah, it's a good conversation, but it ain't the truth, you know? You can show this type of stuff. That's the proof right here. What do you mean? This is what creates change in your own life and other people's lives. Then it works its way on up, you know? Then everybody could, if we all knew this, wait a minute, no, look, stop. We're not doing that. Shout out to Angel Z because that information you gave me is kind of wild, man. It's actually case law on that. It was like 4 family members buried in a property, and guess what? They still buried in that property, and that property, it was something to do with a foreclosure. I mean, I'm still going through it because there's a lot of case law, a lot of jargon in there. I don't understand the mortgage laws and commercial mortgage laws, the land law. I don't understand that, so I'm learning. But shout out to Angels Z for that information. Good God Almighty! I'm like, damn, we should have been burying our loved ones in our property. You know, that solidifies a land, man. I mean, I'm getting into it. I thought that was pretty. Thanks, Angel. That was a jewel. You know, that was a jewel, man. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, wow, this is really solidified. You know, I mean, could you imagine if think about it? I was just thinking about it. I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense. And in my research, starting to add up. And how could you imagine if, say, there was four people buried on a property and they like, yeah, I mean, think about that, man. I mean, even if it's selling a house, the bank, they wouldn't want your ass to say, "Oh, well, there's four people buried on the property." They're gonna be like, "No, we don't want that house." Guess what? I mean, this shit is pretty deep, man. It's pretty deep. You know, it's pretty deep, man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, I don't even care about the tax part. I'm talking about the only true way to own property is a land patent or an allodial title. You know, land patent is number one. You got a land patent. That's it. You own that land. That's what they do. You know, but this whole burying people on the property, that's interesting. Case laws with this. And guess what, guys? They ain't fucking with that property. And it makes sense in a commercial sense. If there's people buried, who the fuck's gonna want to live? That property value is gonna be very low because you would have to report, well, there's four bodies. They're not gonna exhume the bodies. Like, come on, you can't do that. You can't exhume the bodies. You cannot exhume. You can't do that. How you gonna? What are you gonna take somebody's? I mean, no, you can't. It don't work like that, man. So yeah, I'm still looking into that, and that was some great information that she said. She said. I mean, you know, that's wild, man. That's interesting stuff. You know, because it's legal in 48 states. I think there's two states you cannot bury anyone on your property. But if it's legal to bury somebody on your property, there's a death certificate, okay? And it has to have a place of burial in the way. And in a legal point of, I mean, if it's on a property, you kind of get into titles adjoining somehow, some way crossing. And I'm looking into this, and that is some interesting stuff. And it makes you wonder why they got cemeteries, you know? Makes you wonder why they got cemeteries and why, why we were taught not to bury, to do what we done, burying them in a fucking graveyard with strangers, you know, away from you. Sounds weird, but think about it. Hold on. Hold on. I want to see this real quick before I get off of here. All right, a cemetery is a place of burial different from churchyard by its locality and incidence. That's the legal definition of cemetery. Now, burial means sepulture, the act of interring dead human bodies. That's a burial. Shit, I need to look up interring. Interment means the disposition of a human remains by embodiment or, I mean, embalmment. Maybe it's meant embalmment. Entambonment. I thought it was embalming. It's Entombement. And burial in a cemetery, or in the case of a cremated remains by interment, placement or burial in a cemetery. Uh, Placement or interment in a cemetery. Um, huh. Then you have Um, yeah, so a cemetery. Cemetery doesn't even mean cemetery. That's pretty crazy. That's wild. Um, oh, it just means cemetery is a place of burial. That's wild. I gotta look up this stuff, guys, because it's interesting. What she sent me down a rabbit hole with that big time rabbit hole. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's about gonna be it for today, man. I just wanted to come talk about that. I'm gonna do more on that and get into it more. But you know, yeah, it's things we need to be learning, man, and that's the principles of law and different aspects so we can maneuver around, while we can, and then get back to supporting keeping what's here together rather than being a fucking communist Marxist and destroying the shit with stupid ass truthing and these fucking bullshit ass beliefs, you know? That's what we should be doing. So, yeah, and you know what I always say? I don't believe in knowledge is power because knowledge doesn't exist without the power you put behind the knowledge. So I always say it's not the knowledge that is power, it's the power that you put behind the knowledge. Because knowledge exists, you just got to put the power behind it, you know? That's how I look at it. Because a lot of people say, oh, knowledge is power, but then ain't nobody doing shit. They just know a bunch of shit and there's no power. That's the truth community. Know a bunch of shit, nothing's going on, but, shucking and jiving. But all right, guys, I got to go. Peace and love to everybody, and I'll talk to y'all later. Shout out to all you guys and everybody who watches this later.